Okay, so offerings on your altar serve functions and they have a purpose. Yes, they are gifts and they show our appreciation, but remember that altars are a mixture of different energies, okay? And usually these energies correlate to the elements. And we need all the elements in order to make some kind of manifestation or change in the physical world. So Santa Muerte's altar is no different. But there are things that you can put and offer to her that will act as some sort of energy filter to make some change in your physical life, right? So fruits, flowers, candles, liquids like waters, alcohol, even sodas. These things all have a function, okay? So if we, for instance, if we were trying to seek love, or we wanted to bring a person into our life, we should offer roses, red roses or pink roses, and those are associated with love. Now, they're associated with love in the sense that the rose emits the highest positive frequency of almost any flower. Also, they are symbolically associated with passion. So roses not only signify the sweetness of love, but also the pain of love because of its thorns, okay? So when we offer those to Santa Muerte, we're trying to not only bring in love, but also to kind of like clean up our love, because flowers have also the ability to cleanse yourself, to do a cleansing. That's why a lot of baths are made with flowers. Flowers have the power of regeneration because when you snip one, usually one will grow in its place. And in order for a flower to bloom, it is usually through the sun. The sun opens it. So it has that power of regeneration, right? Another thing that you can add for love are apples, red apples on Santa Muerte's altar. A lot of spell work is done with red apples. Why? Because apples, when you cut them in half, there's a perfect pentacle inside. But also, apples look like a human heart, like an anatomically correct heart. And they're sweet, they're naturally sweet. So when we offer, we want to put our energy. And so that is actually us casting a spell. Spells are, and offerings tend to go hand in hand sometimes. So what you can do is, I'll give you 2 spells, and you can try it on your own. You cut the apple in half, always offering 2 to Santa Muerte. And you put the person's picture or name on the apple with the face going upwards, looking up. And you put a little bit of cinnamon and honey. And then you close the apple back up and then you offer it. Or you can take an apple and carve the inside out, hollow it out, put the person's name, birthday, and photograph inside with honey, cinnamon, sugar, maybe a little bit of dried rose petals, not too much. Don't pack it too much. You just want like a pinch of everything, so that way everything fits. And then you bind that up. What you're doing, oh, I should have mentioned this, in that particular spell, you want to put your picture and their picture face to face, okay? Because the apple represents that person's heart. And so you want to fill their heart with the idea of you and them together, okay? So that's just kind of like a basic layout, but you can kind of like formulate your own thing according to what you know. So that's one thing. Oranges and citrus fruits, okay? Citrus fruits are related to the energies of the sun, okay? And the colors yellows and greens and oranges have to do with prosperity and growth. So when we offer citrus fruits to Santa Muerte, that has to do with money. Alongside citrus fruits, bread. Bread has a lot to do with prosperity and money as well. Now, there is a spell that you can do with Santa Muerte, and you can offer her 9 pieces of bread, or you can get a large French roll and cut it into 9 pieces and place it on a white plate with a white candle in the center, okay? And on the bread, you want to drizzle milk and honey. Why? Because milk and honey are symbolic of gold and silver. They're alchemically represented by gold and silver, milk and honey. I think it's in the Bible too, the land, lands of milk and honey. And adding the candle is going to give your offering spirituality, and it takes it out of the mundane world and places it into the spiritual world. And you're making a spiritual connection with Santa Muerte. I'm sure you can use these principles and elements too with other entities if they allow it. You have to really get to know what you're working with. But offerings have a function and a power. So when we place these on the altar, we should leave them there until the candles go out, or until you start to see that they're not looking so good. Then you want to bury it. Why bury it instead of throw away? Because all of that concentrated energy that accumulates on the altar acts as a seed. So when you bury it or plant it in the ground, you allow it to flourish and manifest more into the physical world. Now, if you take all those things that you're asking for and you just throw it away in the trash, you're kind of like throwing away your intention, right? But if you notice that whatever you put on your altar as an offering starts to rot really, really fast and doesn't look good, throw that away and start again and offer it again. Because you kind of will understand that with time, Santa Muerte will show you her energy through your offerings. For some people who've been working with her for a while, to let them know that her energy is there, fruits and foods that usually will rot quickly will tend to last a lot longer on the altar. You can see the freshness and the aliveness on your altar, and that is her energy. But we're always kind of like offer something that you want to correlate to some aspect of your life that you're trying to bring help into. So whether it's love or money, there are a lot of things that are food related that correspond to love and money. Rice is prosperity and abundance, but also rice is used for longevity, especially long grain rice. That is why when you go to weddings, they throw rice at the bride and groom to symbolize a long marriage, longevity in the marriage. But there's nothing better to offer than something that comes from your heart. That is a true soul connection that you're starting to experience with the Santa Muerte. So I hope that helped a little bit. If there's anything you'd like to know about, I'll try my best to make a video and share it with you.